How awesome is that? I want you to listen to this. This is Governor Greg Abbott. I want to get your take on it. It's regarding big tech censorship and how it'll soon be illegal in Texas.
The United States of America was built on freedom of speech and healthy public debate. Big tech's efforts to silence conservative viewpoints is un-American, un-Texan, and it is unacceptable. And pretty soon it's going to be against the law in the state of Texas.
Amen. Amen.
I got to tell you that's pretty awesome. I love Texas. I was just there covering the border, and I love Governor Abbott. I love the people of Texas. They're just tough as nails, strong, and they're willing to stand up to big tech. And I think what's so surprising to me is that they're actually acting as publishers, right? Mm-hmm. So how are they getting away with this? What are you hearing?
To that point, that's a policy discussion, and I know that a lot of people are working on that and really trying to protect the public square. A lot of sites actually are, but when they're getting into the game of actually censoring us or editorializing us, even, right? So I wrote the article and actually we had an op-ed with Congressman Stubbe out of Florida that was on the Federalist, and I went to go post that on Twitter or retweet actually from someone else. And it said, are you sure you want to retweet that? Because you haven't read it yet. And I'm like, I wrote the damn thing, but that's a soft censorship, and then we don't even know what's going on beyond when I actually post and whether or not it gets routed to my followers. That's an entirely shadow mechanic that really does turn them into a publishing platform and not so much a public square. And I think those are the types of things that policymakers are grappling with. And what is going on with these algorithms? How come, I can have 100,000 person Facebook page that performed really well 5 to 10 years ago and now doesn't get any traction? What did you do? And that's not public, right?
I'm trying to figure that out. How does that happen? Because we've seen that before, even with my social media platforms, where we have 1.2, I had 1.4, and then they, removed 200,000 followers for me when they did the big removal and everybody was losing followers. Now we have over 1.2 million on Twitter and then a really great Facebook. And then all of a sudden we realize there must be something going on with the algorithms, because we're not getting the traffic we did, or people aren't seeing it, or when they click on it, they can't get into the story. So is there anyone that can investigate that? I know we have some hearings coming up, but as a computer expert, as somebody who understands the internet, is there a way to even find out what these companies are doing, or is it so internal that it's almost impossible? I don't know.
It would actually be pretty much almost impossible unless they're going to open up the code. It's the amount.
So it's all based on code, right? And it's codes that you have to know.
And code that changes all the time and has changed all the time. So, those algorithms, they're tweaking, they may have control panels that influence those things. They certainly do. It's going to be a very, very tough nut to crack, especially from a legislative standpoint. But I know a lot of people are putting a lot of energy into these questions because you're asking the right questions.